welcome back to another episode of BDO's Roundup thing. I don't know. We're doing a
What
video
is this
thing.
video? Like 2.59?
Maybe. We're trying something new. We told you about it like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and we're finally getting around to it. Video stuff.
Cheer. What is this place? We've never been here before.
It's a place with chairs and wine.
We
Or
have wine.
Liquor.
Cheers.
I don't know what it is.
Spike.
But, yeah. We're going to do a more daily-ish type thing, more frequent, not all at once, 2 hours. So,
2+ hours.
Yeah,
In some
okay.
cases.
yeah, we're doing a video shootout, I guess. We'll just go back to Don's video shootout.
Yo, hey, unholster the guns. Pew, pew, pew.
God damn it.
I haven't heard
But
that in
yeah,
a while.
we'll bring back Don's video shootout for this. And we're going to talk about some of the video stuff that really interested us in film this week. We're going to start off with our first look at Jumanji.
Jumanji. I'm stoked. I'm actually excited for this.
It looks weird. I don't know. The Rock said it would be not a sequel, but or no, not a remake, but a sequel type thing.
Well, on top of
Kind
that,
of.
it does exist in the same Robin Williams world, right?
Yeah. So they're saying they're not redoing the first one. It's just a somewhat continuation of the first one. And a lot of people are actually pointing out the characters kind of look like the characters from the board game. So they may be having something to do with that.
Well, two things. The first thing is Jumanji Juniors, which we'll get to that in a second. But the second thing is avatars. So essentially, this leads to two things. And this is all coming from The Rock himself, who's in it along with Gillian.
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillian,
You're right.
also Nebula, shaved head. Kevin Hart, and Jack Black, who's in the most tropish role ever. I'm sorry, like these are pretty tropish roles.
I'm just wondering how the guy from King Kong made it to Jumanji.
Hey, this is a multiverse. We share universes. Any minute now, we're gonna see Adrian Brody. But really, so the hint of avatars, it seems that there could be a play with, because it's set in the modern day, video games could be kind of played around with. In other words, that maybe Jumanji is taken from a board game to the console. Who knows? Maybe kids could be jacked in a la Matrix. But the second thing, though, is that these kids are playing, and instead of having the game come to life in our world, maybe these kids their perception has been transformed into the game, and the characters such as The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and etc., that's them. These are their avatars playing in the game. So it's a cool twist. And in my opinion, I think that's kind of cool.
That'd be interesting. It's all very weird.
Which is what Jumanji Juniors are. He calls them Jumanji Juniors. They're basically kids. There's a black dude, a skinny white guy, a blonde, and another blonde brunette girl. Apparently, one of them plays Jack Black. So, yeah. Did you hear about the whole thing on Twitter with Karen Gillian wearing the skimpy outfit?
Yeah. I saw a bunch of like re-edits of her with like really different things.
Which is supposed to wear in the jungle.
I also saw a re-edit of it where it's The Rock as The Rock. So, or Dwayne Johnson as The Rock. I just call him The Rock now. I don't even call him
It's
Dwayne
The
Johnson.
Rock. He's The Rock. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think about this movie?
I don't know what to think about this movie, like, at all. Which, I don't know. Like, I see the picture. It looks interesting. I'll put the picture up somewhere. Maybe in the background. Maybe just flash here.
But Kevin Hart, I mean...
Yeah, Kevin Hart looks... It looks like it's going to be a funny movie, if anything, and maybe for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean...
But another movie that's coming out that I have no idea what to think about is Ghost in the Shell.
I'm glad you brought that up.
The teasers.
Okay, you haven't said anything since I posted it online. What did you think? What did you really think?
I'm digging it. But I feel like it'd be wrong for me to say I'm digging it. I don't know, man. The teasers look interesting. They don't look bad. The movie doesn't look like it's going to be... Or at least I don't know. So far, from what they've shown, it doesn't look completely off base. The characters look fine. Some of the shots seem to be taken directly out of like the older film in the comics and stuff or whatever. I don't know where. Like it just looks like what it looks like. I wasn't like a huge fan of the Ghost in the Shell originally, so I don't have that kind of like, oh man, they're ruining it for me. I'm like, I watched a few episodes on Cartoon Network when I could, but I never watched the whole thing.
It's
So I don't
weird.
know.
It's super weird because it's like, well, with the exception of Scarlett Johansson, everything else looks really good. Like a weird mesh between, I don't know, Cloud Atlas. I don't want to say Lucy like I did before, but something really sinister, like Blade Runner.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems to be capturing the feel of what it's supposed to be. Um, I just I don't even mind ScarJo that much. She looks good in her role. She looks fine. Everything looks fine so far. But we haven't had a full trailer yet. This is just a bunch of like
The tease.
random little teasers.
The tease. It's okay. Here's a cheese nibble.
Yeah, but look for them. There's a whole bunch. There's like 5 of them, right? There's also a supercut of all of them put together, but it makes it seem weirder because it's like,
Wait, there's 5 of them already?
yeah, like the video you posted isn't actually. It's all of them put together.
Really?
Each one of those is supposed to be a separate one, and it
Oh.
definitely changes the way you look at it because when you put it all together, it makes it seem like this really creepy because of the sounds and everything. But it's just supposed to be like these short chunks of teaser.
It's like clips.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I can see that. I don't know. We'll have to wait to see something more substantial and whole.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But as
Than
far as
Triangle so far.
it looks good. If the film follows that art direction style, it might be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of dug it, as I said. I don't know if I should. But yeah.
Robotic kimono was cool too.
Yeah. Idiocracy. That movie.
It's getting mass released like separately on one day.
I don't know if it's mass release, but they're doing a limited re-release of Idiocracy. I know Alamo Drafthouse is doing it. I don't know if anyone else is. I didn't really look it up too much, but they're doing a re-release of Idiocracy.
If you are down for that movie, totally watch it.
Yeah.
Just make sure you wear your Camacho T-shirt.
It's kind of weird. I mean, it's so fitting for the political.
It's pretty
culture
good.
today,
It's pretty
but
good.
It's whatever. I just think I'm just gonna bring up that they're gonna do that. I just remember that they canceled all the anti-Trump things that they were trying to do. They didn't let them do it.
Which one, Idiocracy?
Yeah, well, you didn't hear that Terry Crews was supposed to come back as President Camacho.
Yeah,
Did
he
a
didn't
whole
wear the
bunch
wig. Yeah.
of, a whole bunch of what was it? It was supposed to be like a whole bunch of like anti-Trump ads,
Mm.
and they decided against it. They were like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's not such a
Let's
good
just
idea.
release the movie.
Let's just do this instead. And I think it should be like next week. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it if you can go watch it. There's also a cat running around in the
It's
background.
a ghost cat.
Ghost cat. Yeah. Yeah, it's so. Do you watch anything recently?
Yeah, I did a couple of things. Recently watched the Blair Witch.
Oh yeah, Blair Witch. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, let's go and segue in that.
I just quickie thoughts on the film.
Okay, real quickie. Essentially, like I kept bringing up the word loud, and it's great because this movie has probably one of the best sound. I was sound mixing, out of
Yeah, the sound design and the sound
Yeah,
mixing.
it's
was
really
all
good.
Really good.
which actually people kind of threw me under the bus for this, but that's the reason why I loved Need for Speed the movie was the sound design.
I never watched it.
You check it out, put your headphones on, and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just those movies where it's like, this isn't a great movie, but man, that sound is great, you know?
Yeah.
They did a good job. For this, it's like, wow, you know, every little twig you break, you know, or you're running in the woods, you're like, I hear everything, you know? It's like, your senses are amplified. But then the crackle and the digital distortion is kind of annoying after about half an hour in. You're like, this is loud.
Yeah, it was definitely super loud. It did. I don't know. It's a found footage film. I'm not generally a fan of most of those. Some of them I am. Some of them I'm not. I like the VHS ones.
Found a battery.
VHS is pretty good. That's found footage.
Well,
ish.
let's kind of get down
I
to the
don't know.
meat and bones of this movie.
It's a copy of the first one. Like,
It is a
beat
copy.
for beat.
It
It's
is.
just the first one, except now you see.
I
the
just wanted to
witch.
walk across the camera right now.
Yeah, so it's just it's beat for beat the first one, but you actually get to see the witch, which I don't know if I
He's
enjoyed.
weird. Like
Yeah.
the
Just the cat. But yeah.
okay, so Slender Woman, Slender Witch. We'll call her Slender Witch.
That's what bugs me the most. That's what bugged me the most about Lights Out, because I enjoyed Lights Out. I know some people didn't like it because it was kind of
Yeah.
cheesy and kind of dumb, but I feel like it knew what it was, and it did what it did well.
Was it also like a Slender Woman?
Yeah, it's basically every other like half naked old lady with like wrinkly skin that's like rotting off. That's exactly what they did with Lights Out, and that's exactly what they did with the witch. And it's what's been around for like ever. And I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe like there's a lot of times where it's like the less you show, the better. And Lights Out, like for most of the film, you actually don't get to see her, and it's just like the shadowy, ghostly, smoky monster. And I thought that was great. And then they're like, oh no, but now you can see her. And then I was like, oh, that takes a little bit away from it.
So there's two things. The first thing I was thinking about was total ripoff of one creature, which is Wreck. So
Yeah.
Patient Zero, or the creature on the attic, was the first thing I thought of, because it's like, well, every creepy slender like thing that happened after that movie is exactly like that, you know. Quarantine was a basic ripoff, but in this movie, there's a shot where you really see it, and it's like, wow, that's almost the exact same thing. Well, anyway, a lot of movies are doing that apparently. And the second thing is, well, okay, we didn't really need to see the creature. In some cases, it wasn't as significant, and I don't feel like it really like helped, other than the fact of, oh, I put an image to the face now, which, you know, I really didn't want to see that, because the entire time I've been following Blair Witch, or I've known about Blair Witch, either I think of her as a creepy old witch lady, or the Todd McFarlane Monster Madness thing. He did he did a series of toys back in the 90s or the early 2000s that was based on movie franchises, and he did one on their Blair Witch. That to me
I don't
was
remember that one.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But you know, it's like it's the imagination. No, cat. It's the imagination that really wins. Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, and for something like this, I think it especially won out. And I don't know, I think for me it's always been that even with the original movie, it always felt a little out of place if you watched it after the fact. Because when it originally came out, everyone thought it was real. Like everyone was like, oh my god, this is a found footage. These people have died. And then now they're like, no. I mean, no one really believes that anymore. So it kind of loses a little bit of its charm. And
It does, doesn't it?
And then you have things like Cloverfield, which, as much as I don't enjoy that film as much, is the original one. I like 10 Cloverfield Lane. I don't like the original one that much.
I like. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's a different
Either way.
conversation.
I enjoyed it because it didn't take itself maybe that seriously, as in like this is a thing that actually happened. But so it didn't do too well though.
No, it didn't. What was the number?
It was, I think, like 9.6 million opening weekend. It didn't break number one. It still opened above Snowden and Bridget Jones' Baby, which also opened the same
Well,
weekend.
no, Bridget. Really?
Yeah.
I thought she would win above all, man. I mean, that's a movie of the year. Who doesn't want to see Bridget Jones' Baby?
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, it didn't break number one. I don't know. I think whatever was at number one the week before, it just stayed number one. So it's a little weird that they're kind of considering it a failure, but at the same time, it's already made its money back. Which I mean also goes to show how like these found footage films are made for like nothing on the dollar. Like,
No, not at all. What was the budget for that movie?
I don't know, but I always harken back to movies like Paranormal Activity.
Oh man, Steel. That's Blair Witch. $60,000 for the original movie.
Yeah.
Made back like what? 10 times the amount, $246 million.
Yeah. So, because of that, Joe Berlinger, who was the guy who did Blair Witch, Book of Shadows, went kind of on a little Twitter tirade. You're not tirade, but he was like, Blair Witch had a worse opening than my film. You know,
Why am I on the short end of the stick?
He's like, why are people being dicks to me? And he's like, at least my film wasn't a financial flop. And I was like, whoa, dude.
It's like, because we like Adam Wingard, that's why.
Well, one, yeah, I did not. I was rooting for Adam Wingard, but like Joe Berlinger just shot off with that, like, and it's a tweet, so you can never get the full thing until he like later clarified what he meant.
But he has reason to, though. I mean,
yeah, kind of.
A lot of interferences. There's some movies that were played with and tinkered with at the end because studios were like, no, this is not going to make any movie. Let's salvage something.
Yeah, so I mean, his thing was like he hasn't even seen the film, or at least at the time of when he wrote everything out, he hadn't seen the film. He was just like, yeah, people always give me shit for, making the worst Blair Witch, and then at least I made money. But then he's like, you know what? It's more that they gave me a lot of shit, and the fact that the studio had so much involvement that I had to, they practically went back and like recut the film.
Yeah.
And he's like, I had no choice. And he's like, at that point, I just didn't have. I forgot what he said exactly, but he's like, I wasn't brave enough to be like, no.
No.
So he just let the studio do what they wanted, and he's like, and that's the worst part about it. He's like, it's not that people hate the film. He's like, it's one thing to have someone hate a film that you made,
but this was my work. If it was a failure, it was my failure.
But he was like, no, but he's like, if it's something I made that I was proud of or that I thought was gonna do well and it didn't, that's just my failure. But he's like, when they decided to recut my film, it's like they're mad at me for something that's not even mine, basically. He's like, they're mad at me and they hate it, and I hate it too because it's not even my cut. It's someone else's movie made under my name. And he's like, I wasn't even brave enough to take my name off of it.
Yeah, he completely disassociated himself from that movie.
Yeah, so he's like, because his movie sounded kind of interesting. If you've ever gone into like what his film originally was going to be, but I mean, I won't go into that too much. But yeah, that was it.
So we should probably watch it just to see what happened. I haven't seen it actually.
Oh, okay. So if you don't know, so basically what happens is, originally the script was supposed to be that there's this people that take like trips through the Blair Witch. I forgot the name of the town.
Like tours.
Yeah, like
Burkittsville. Burkittsville's a town. Yeah.
So they go through Burkittsville, and they take tours to find the house or whatever. And there's like this group of people that go with them. And the whole original thing was it was supposed to all be a hoax, and they knew it was a hoax, so they were supposed to have like a lot of fun with it. But then, at the studio's behest, they ended up going back and shooting a whole bunch of gore scenes and like shoehorning them into the film.
Oh yeah, I read about that. The whole weird like orgy scenes.
Yeah, and so the whole thing was supposed to be more or less, kind of more meta, I guess.
Yeah.
About the fact that it is fake and everything, but then they didn't. But yeah. That was all interesting and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he's bitter about it, and he sounds very bitter about it.
I think he's going to continue to be bitter about it.
I'm assuming forever.
But, I mean, at least we have more scary movies to look forward to, I mean, actually, no, we don't, because they just pushed back 2 possible franchise. They pushed back Rings, which was a sequel. Yeah, they pushed it back to Valentine's Day.
Oh, man.
Not only that, but they pushed back... the damned Friday the 13th sequel, reboot, prequel, sidequel. It's basic. Remember that it started with the found footage thing and then went back to like a modern day, and then they put it back to like the 80s, continuing off from the first movie. It's going to branch off. It's doing the whole Star Trek thing, and they pushed that movie back another year. So we're not going to see. I doubt it's going to come out anymore. I was really hoping that it did. But yeah, no good horror movies coming out for a while.
It's kind of interesting. I didn't know they pushed it back, but yeah. Let's speaking of movies that are coming out. So Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
I'm kind of interested in it, but a lot of people are kind of saying this might be the first like good gaming film. I don't know if I agree with that because I'm totally into some of the other ones that I thought were pretty decent, like Silent Hill.
That was great.
Yeah.
So was Hitman. I liked Hitman. Hitman was great.
That was Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
But Justin Kurzel, the guy who's doing Assassin's Creed, is saying that they're gonna film all the historical scenes in Spanish.
Great.
And then they were like, yeah, we tried doing it in English for a little bit, and we just kind of realized that doing it in Spanish was just much better. It added more magic to it, as he said.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds kind of interesting.
If the rumor still holds that they're going to have 20% of the Animus, or the Animus will only be filmed 20% of the time, I mean...
It'll be like the first one, or second one.
Yeah.
Because the second game didn't have a lot. It did, but like you were out of the Animus.
Who did that? Resident Evil did that. Like the Hive. No, the mansion only had like 10 minutes of the movie, and the rest was in the Hive, which wasn't really that big of a deal in the first game.
Yeah, I mean that's all fine. If they do it right, they do it right. I just think it's interesting that they're doing it in Spanish. Like,
which is cool.
It's cool.
Magneto is all like...
Like, I'm wondering if they're going to have someone dub over Michael Fassbender, or if they're going to have Michael Fassbender actually
it's Antonio Banderas dubbing over Magneto, and Zorro over Magneto. Soy un asesino.
That'd be great. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. This is also kind of in the vein of, I guess, Jumanji and Ghost in a Shell for me, because I'm like, I don't know what to expect.
Is next year going to be kind of not a tongue-in-cheek year for you for movies, but one to not take too seriously?
I mean, so far, yeah, but that's because I don't know too well. I mean, other than the things we're gonna get into a little bit later, you know? But other than that, like most of the films, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's a thing you can do.
Have you seen the trailer for Monster Trucks?
I'm not.
Okay. So Paramount is losing some serious money. One, since Transformers isn't necessarily making the most money, they're not getting a lot of, fish. Not really getting a lot of money fish. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did not excel super high for their standards. Yeah. So, what do you do when you have two major franchises that don't make a lot of money? You mush them together. Yeah, you make a cool little smorgasbord of...
failure.
Okay, so Monster Trucks is weird. It's literally Transformers with the personality of TMNT. Because these creatures get inside cars, control the cars, and they do the stunts that, once again, I swear is pulled from TMNT. With the flipping and the... You have to see the trailers. It's so weird. But Paramount is like, yeah, let's combine two franchises to make a franchise.
That's ridiculous. That's a thing that I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's it's too weird.
No, like talk about something serious. Well, I have this trailer running in the background. Don't even look at the trailer, and you're gonna be like, "What am I watching?"
All right, so let's move on to the last thing.
All right, what's the last thing going on?
We're gonna talk about TIFF.
TIFF
was.
Show me your TIFF.
2 weeks ago. I don't know when it was.
It's been about 10 days now. It's a long... The TIFF is basically a Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very long-running festival, highly regarded, highly esteemed. Basically, the film festival brings in a lot of films regarding different genres. It's not like Fantastic Fest in terms of like a certain type of genre, but you will have horror and you'll have action, a lot of different things. But, we've always been interested in swinging over there.
Yeah, and a lot of good films kind of come out from that. And I just want to talk about a few of them that we are super looking forward to. We will include...
This movie.
If we do post this movie. No, you're not. If we do upload this, because this is kind of a dry run of what we're trying to do. So, set's not all set up or whatever. Yeah. We don't have our lighting set up or all
There's
that.
A cat roaming across.
There's a cat roaming around, just messing with things. But we will include our playlist, because we have a playlist of all the things we're kind of looking forward to, or definitely like keeping an eye out for during that are coming out from TIFF. They'll be coming out later.
Do you want to go back and forth about which ones you like? Let me start off with...
I would just put out like the one that I'm like the most excited for, and then I guess I'll go to you.
All right.
That's The Handmaiden.
Oh, you're going to go for La La Land.
Kind of. Don't judge me.
What's The Handmaiden about?
The Handmaiden, the less you know, the better. But just know it's is it Park Chan-wook? I think is his name. The guy who did Old Boy.
Old Boy. Oh, yeah. That movie.
And this is it's a horror film, I think. Oh, it seems like it. But yeah, so I definitely would say keep an eye out for it. If you want to watch a trailer,
It's my
maybe.
cat ringtone, guys. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
If you wanna keep an eye out for it, definitely. But
Any big players in there that we know of? I know we're not really big. It's Korean, right?
yeah. So like I don't think there'd be a lot of big players that we would know of. You'd
Mm.
have to be really into that scene. I know sometimes, but I would say
So we
just
have the wine glasses. We're snooty, so we
Yeah.
know every foreign actor out there.
pinky out. But yeah, The Handmaiden is definitely the one I'm probably looking forward to the most. Actually, no, I lied. But that's the one that came to mind first.
So, moving on to one, I'm gonna make it a little easier. Essentially, it's coming out really soon. It's already made the plenty of circus, Fantastic Fast and TIFF, but The Arrival. Essentially, with The Arrival, like I praise this guy's work really, really well. Like this, he's great. Well, Dennis Villeneuve. I can't I can never pronounce his last name. Villeneuve. Dennis Villeneuve. He's the one who started with really dark and depressing movie Prisoners. Went on to
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, who was also in Prisoners, playing himself, two roles in Enemy. And then after Enemy, I think he did Sicario. And now he's on to Arrival. And what's funny is that those first three movies are pretty dark and grim. So Arrival was supposed to be his break away from the depressing. And apparently it's like a masterpiece. It's great. Still depressing, but great.
These films are always depressing. One of the films that I forgot because we can't put it on the list because you can find the trailer for it or clips from it. Is The Bad Batch, which is Anna Lily Armapour's new film. She did Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. And The Bad Batch is about
It's about the Bad Batch.
it's a post-apocalyptic love story set in a cannibalistic Texas.
And tell him about
Yeah.
Aquaman. I forgot.
Yeah, Jason Momoa is in it as one of the cannibals.
It's not
And he's
Khaleesi. I don't know. Call him
jacked
Khaleesi.
as
That's
fuck.
weird. Yeah, he's jacked. Khal Drogo. There we go.
Yeah.
Khal Drogo is
Yeah,
jacked.
yeah. He's like as jacked, if not more jacked, than when he was
He
in
looks
that role.
angry. Like he worked out and he was angry at working out.
He's drinking Jizzy Pop. If you have a chance, you can find it on Vimeo. I know a lot of you hate Vimeo. I don't know why.
You don't like Vimeo?
No, a lot of people hate Vimeo
Why?
because it's not YouTube.
It's just a snooty version of YouTube. Which
It
I can
kind
see.
of is.
It is. It's
I would say it's a snooty version, but it's also the only place where you can find that recut of RoboCop where they keep shooting people's dick off.
oh, remember that? Like
That's where
no,
it's just
it was
dicks.
but
Just
each
dicks
scene
shot off.
was by
Dicks
different
shot off.
directors.
And that's the only place you can watch it and things like that because they allow nudity and stuff as long as it's
Boo, YouTube.
like artistic, and sometimes not even that artistic, but mostly artistic.
Yeah,
stuff.
because getting dick shut off is pretty artistic.
Oh, well, there's.
It's a masterpiece.
I don't
man.
remember if it was that, or I think it was Vimeo or somewhere. The video may have been taken down, where it was it was a play where a woman sat in a chair, and then she had someone fist her, and she acted like a Muppet, like no joke, and it was.
I
Like
think I've seen
a
this.
one-woman show, and it was on Vimeo.
It was existential.
I don't know if it was existential. It's one of those things where I'm like, this is kind of way too high art. / I don't know if she knows what's going on. I think she just wanted to get.
There was Shia LaBeouf who directed it. Before directing that, I won't see it.
What else are you looking forward to?
Oh, next up, Christine. Christine is something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Another one that we can't tell you too much about. If you want to know, no. But if you don't, which I don't know, this is the kind of movie that you can't really watch not knowing. Like you're gonna find out what it is.
Oh, yeah, like if you look up anything, because this is also based on a true story. If you want to look it up, you can.
Yeah.
I feel like if you can, or if you don't know about the story, and you can take someone who doesn't know about the story to go watch
Better.
it, I feel like it'd be a lot better.
It's better.
It's definitely a very interesting story if you know it.
Yeah.
But it looks really good. It's kind of a drama.
Rebecca Hall, she was in the Awakening horror movie. She's been in several. What movie? Rebecca Hall. Anyway, she's been in several gothic stories, but she plays an American reporter. That's it. And this American reporter, explores the inner psyche, her inner psyche. Whether good or bad, we don't know. But if you want to find out, Google. If not, find out, bring somebody to enjoy the show.
And so I'll bring it up. La La Land. I am totally looking forward to La La Land. Judge me all you want. I like Ryan Gosling. It's a musical type thing.
It's
I don't care.
great. I mean, it looks really good.
It looks good.
I'm
gonna watch it.
I'm gonna take the wife and the cat. We're just gonna sit there and we're gonna strap the cat down and be like, "You're gonna watch this Gosling movie. You're going to," and he's gonna watch it. But what's great is that people who already praising the film are kind of already banging on the drums of saying that this is the new wave of musicals, like not just the musicals in terms of Broadway to film, but original musicals. Something like that. Because you don't see anymore. You don't see musicals out of the blue anymore. Hairspray came from a show. Les Mis came from Broadway, which came from a book, and this is straight out of someone's mind. So.
I mean, if it makes it big, I can kind of see a lot of copycats coming out.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's setting it off, but musicals have always been kind of a thing where I don't know if maybe the time has passed for them, but they don't really come out all that often. And even things like, I guess, like they used to be kind of, not even really musicals, but kind of like teetered on the edge, like the Disney films and stuff. The remakes haven't been as close to them as they have. Like the Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm assuming Beauty and the Beast also isn't going to have that many songs in it. And then those are, I mean, it's
Yeah,
not really
true.
a musical, but like things that, like the music stuff is kind of played down a little bit more nowadays. And I don't know if it could come back, and maybe it will with this, but who knows.
I mean, well, Ryan Gosling also brought back the whole new wave 80s throwback to that era. I mean, with Drive. And ever since then, you have, a lot of films that kind of paid respect, like Turbo Kid and It Follows. I don't know. Like, I just felt like, I don't want to say if Stranger Things was also influenced by this wave of nostalgia for the 80s, but there's been a lot of movies out there that kind of derived from Drive because of the soundtrack. Like, oh man, the soundtrack's great. Oh, synth is awesome. Yeah, before Drive, you didn't hear that.
The synth wave stuff. And I mean, because it's also affected other things like games, because you have like the Hollow Miami series and stuff like that.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, if Gosling is there, it's going to come.
Maybe.
Bring out the Gosling, they'll show up.
Anything else you're looking forward to?
Outside of that, I'm trying to look. Zero trailer, but that's abstract. You have to watch the trailer. You look Zero trailer TIFF. You'll find out it's crazy. Mucho crazy.
I think the two of the ones that I'm kind of looking forward to that are kind of like really out there.
What's up?
Are they're foreign films, so in some of you, but like Epitaph is what they're calling it in English, and
oh yeah, the conquistadors goes up to the volcano.
Yeah.
So these conquistadors come meet. I don't know if it's Mayans or Aztecs, but they're like, why do you keep looking at that volcano over there? And they're like, oh, it's scary. So they go up to the volcano. And it reminds me of a field in England.
Yeah.
Where during a battle, I think it was the War of the Roses, but during a battle, these English troops eat mushrooms and trip out. So it's kind of like that, where the conquistadors go up to the volcano and get sick and trip out. So that does look good. What's your second one?
Daguerreotype.
What is that? I haven't actually know.
It's another horror film. I'm not sure if it looks super, super great, but I just thought it looked interesting. It's something I might check out. And it's about, like, this guy who does daguerreotypes, which is, like, one of the original forms of film. Or not, like, photography. I don't know if you ever looked it up. It's like one of the original forms, like a big, gigantic thing. And he's like, it's the only way to really make to take true photography, I guess. And he has this chair where he has to strap people down in order to take their photos. And
this is a horror movie?
Yeah. And it looks like really creepy. Kind of, and like, but it also kind of reminds me of The Woman in Black.
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't look like super great, but I kind of hope it's okay. And it's like his wife has died and it keeps haunting him, I guess, is the best way to describe it. I think.
That's interesting.
It looks interesting. I don't know. It definitely not as much as Epitaph, but it's one of the more foreign films that I thought looked interesting. And I always like checking out foreign films because they tend to do things a little bit differently from Hollywood.
If you play with the genre enough, you'll find some odd combinations.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Dead Snow? I mean, who would have thought Nazi snow zombies? Like that's interesting.
Anything else you're looking forward to? Is that most of the big things?
That's basically most of the big things, really. Nothing else has popped up. I mean, we're kind of hoping some of those films would grace us here in Dallas with their movies. We'll just wait and see.
Well, we have a pretty decent art film place, so hopefully we'll get some of them. I don't know when all of them are coming out, though. I mean, I guess it depends, since they're all limited release. Is there anything else you want to talk
about? What's his name? Bill Hader. He's going to be Alpha.
Oh yeah, Power Rangers. Another movie I have no idea what to think about. That's also.
Have you seen the posters?
Yeah.
They're weird. They're weird, man. Sponsored by Gap.
Yeah,
that's what they're posing for Gap, basically.
Yeah, I mean, again, another film I have no idea what to think about. We just need full trailers for these things at this point. I mean, because we have this. There's just too many.
It's things. Just show us. Just show us already what Rita's gonna look like and sound like. Just get it over with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I might watch it. I mean, I was a fan of the original one. I don't know when I stopped watching Power Rangers, but I've never gone back to it. Like, I'm not one of those people that like followed it and went to like the Sentai stuff. I never really did all that.
Turbo was the end when I stopped watching around Turbo with the cars. But as soon as they went away from the mechs, I just lost interest because what do we have now? Pirates, ninjas, space pirates, space ninjas.
And the space pirates, they use the other forms. That's the
They're cowboys too, right?
I don't know, man.
I just stopped at cars, and I was like,
I don't know.
Nah.
I might watch it just for the fun of it, but meh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Other than that, though, no, there's nothing else that popped up. We'll have to tune you in or tune to us for news.
I have no idea. I don't know what the outro for this is going to be. Again, this is kind of a test run to see if we can keep it underneath.
The outro is the cat.
The outro is the cat trying to drink wine.
It's actually beer.
Oh. Yeah. Tastes alright.
Say hi to the camera, cat.
He's gonna knock it
He
over.
did. He looked at the camera. All right.
Anyways, it's Berto Dizzy.
I'm Don Cabron.
Signing. I don't think we said our name at the beginning. We
No,
really fucked this up.
We really did. Take one.
Again, this is a dry run. Hopefully by next week we'll have a little bit better. We should be kind of like
Prepared.
more prepared, hopefully. We just wanted to see if we could do this in a shorter amount of time instead of the 1 hour and 2 hour bouts that we've been doing, because we no longer have the ability to do it that long. I guess it sounds weird.
It does.
We can't. I'm just showing cat anus to the camera now.
It's just tail. Oh, come on, show me the mustache. Give me the mustache. Anyway, seeing us next week.